lot of work has been done on Daredevil, the new Disney Plus series, Daredevil Born Again, that was well into production by the time the writer's strike hit, and of course the actor's strike, and yep, just waiting for those strikes to end to get back to work. Oh, wait. Apparently, according to reports now coming out of Variety and all the major trades, Marvel has made the decision to scrap it and go back to the drawing board, as it were. This comes to us from Variety, who writes this. Fewer than half of the series, Daredevil Born Again's 18 episodes had been shot. That's still a lot of work that's been done. That's like 6 hours of programming had been shot, but it was enough for Marvel executives, including Chief Kevin Feige, to review the footage and come away with a clear-eyed assessment. The show wasn't working. So, in late September, Marvel quietly let go of head writers Chris Ord and Matt Corman and also released the directors for the remainder of the season as part of a significant creative reboot of the series. The Hollywood Reporter has learned the studio is now on the hunt for new writers and directors for the project. So, all those screenshots we saw, those set pics, casting announcements that just got made, although I'm not sure that they're going to change any of the casting. But all that, gone. Out the window. Goodbye. And, you know, there's something mentioned in the Variety report of this. I mean, this originally came from the Hollywood Reporter, but in the Variety report, there's something else that they mentioned that I think gets to the heart of a deeper issue. And Rob and I were talking about this just a little bit before the show started. You know, Variety points out that Disney Plus has tried to do television, but in a very non-television way. And one of the things that they've done to their demise that has not been very television way is that they've not had a leadership structure in place that is traditional television. Like a show has head writers and a showrunner, and those people oversee the direction of a show. Their shows don't have showrunners. The executives decide what they're going to do. Now, that has resulted in a couple of great things. WandaVision was fantastic. I loved Ms. Marvel. Andor, they kind of did give Tony Gilroy the show. They did give him the showrunner responsibilities. But a lot of these other stuff, they don't have traditional showrunners. It's the executives kind of making decisions from an ivory tower, which I've always believed in studio involvement, but you got to have creatives that are at the head of the show and are dictating where it goes, you know, in teamwork and in tandem with the studio and all that kind of stuff. Yes. But I think that's the reason why we end up with some of the garbage that we've ended up with. And I can't help but wonder if this whole idea that, look, our Marvel movies have worked great for the most part. Let's just make the shows the way we make movies. And Disney is starting to figure out and realize that doesn't work. Movies are movies. TV shows are TV shows. They've been made differently for 100 years for a reason. And I think they're starting to clue on that now. And listen, I'll tell you what. While on the one hand, the one way of looking at this is, wow, this is a disaster. And financially it is. There's a lot of work that's just been thrown out. Now, the Variety report also goes on to say they might keep some of the scenes that they've already shot if they can fit into the new story. That's fine. Maybe they can recoup or salvage some of it. But this is going to equal big financial losses because that's going to make the budget of this project now balloon like crazy. Oh. And maybe they'll learn something from it. But if there is a silver lining in this, and I don't know if there is, but if there's a silver lining in this, it could be this. I would rather hear that Kevin Feige has decided what's being put together here is not good enough and we are pulling the plug. I would rather have that happen than a year and a half from now sit down to watch Daredevil with all kinds of excitement and get another Secret Invasion. I would rather find out Kevin Feige said this isn't good enough and pull the plug than 18 months from now sit down and watch another She-Hulk. And maybe this is going to be part of an awakening for the folks over there at Marvel and Disney that, maybe the century-old practice of having a showrunner, half a century-old practice of having a show or somebody who's in charge of being, being the creative shepherd of a particular show. Yes, take notes from the studio, take direction about what the overall thing's got to be, but giving those people that and have it be creative-driven like their movies have been in the past, hey, maybe that's the right way to do it after all. And maybe we can see a shift in that. Anyway, Rob, we woke up this morning finding out all that work that's been done on Daredevil, gone. And by the way, I'm going to throw this out here, and I don't know what you think about this. I think there's a chance this never gets back on the rails. I'm not saying that definitively, but I think there is a possibility this never gets going again. Again, more than likely, they've put a lot of money into it already, then maybe they'll want to continue it regardless. Hey guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. You guys know that I've been saying for a long time that it's time for us to start prioritizing mental health in our lives. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I've pointed this out many times, but we as adults know that we need to prioritize our physical health, and so we encourage each other and cheer each other on when we take steps for improving our physical health, like going to the gym. Well, it's time that we prioritize our mental health the same way. We need to encourage each other to take those steps and encourage ourselves to do that as well. So guys, take that step in prioritizing your mental health by going to BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. But anyway, you read the report. What's your assessment of this car wreck?
Well, I think that what's going on in a lot of television shows, a lot of genre television shows especially, is there's a lot of underqualified people in positions of power that they just don't know their jobs well enough. Not because they're dumb people, they just haven't had the experience. And I find it fascinating because it's happening over and over again in these sort of legacy genre shows, because they feel that because these are well-established brands, that maybe there's a chance that they can try new writers, or they can try new directors, or these kinds of things, which is admirable. The problem is when you're dealing with the stakes being as high as they are, and especially with Daredevil, you have 3 seasons of an excellent Netflix series that already established with the same cast. You know, your
some of the same cast.
Yeah, but your lead actor.
Leads,
so
yeah.
it's essentially, you already have 3 seasons to live up to, rightly or wrongly. They can call it Born Again, you can recast. They made the decision to keep Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in these roles. So you have 3 seasons. If you're not going to live up to those 3 seasons that people can watch, it's a fool's errand. And I think to call it Born Again, which is an incredibly well-known storyline from Marvel Comics, and the fact that they were doing 18 episodes and it was going to be serialized, the fact that they're in this position, to me, shows a large level of incompetence at whatever level, because you need to have those scripts as rock solid before you start. Now, normally, John, television, they are writing as they go. But in the streaming era, I would assume, because they're shooting all these and they're going to come out weekly and they're going to be bingeable, or sometimes, that they're not writing as they go. Because the way they're planning these shows, they should have these scripts rock solid before anything is digitally captured through a camera. And if they're not, this is a level of incompetence that I think is inexcusable. And when you see something like this happen, I think it shows that the people that are running, and I'm not saying it's Kevin Feige, because he's running everything. He's not a TV showrunner. This shouldn't happen. On these streaming shows, we have plenty of examples of shows that are pretty great. You know, streaming shows that can be binged, whether it's what we're seeing from Gen V, what we're seeing. When you look at Gen V, I'm like, there's a superhero show that has very tight. I'm surprised at how good it is.
The scripts are from
4 episodes in. They knew what they were doing. And on a show like this, you already had a binge. Remember, they made seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Daredevil. They all came out at once. You could sit there and watch them, and they were, for the most part, really strong and really great, which meant they had to have those scripts written when they went in to shoot. That's how you amortize costs. This is incredible to me, and it shows a level of incompetence in 2023 that should not exist. And I think it really shows that there is a lot of disarray at Disney on a number of different levels. And it's not like we're hearing great things about Echo. And we've got all these other shows that are being made. What's going on over there? And I don't know. That's the thing. I love the MCU, John. I love it. I go back and I watch the first 23 movies of the Infinity Saga, and I love them. Even the movies that aren't so good. Captain Marvel is a lot more entertaining than people make it out to be. That movie sucked. It does not suck.
No, it does not.
It does not suck. And I enjoy Thor: The Dark World. Iron Man 2 has grown in stature. And now I'm looking at what's happened and it's not me ripping on Marvel, but I'm wondering what has happened. And to see something like Daredevil where you had 3 seasons, they're not perfect, but they're pretty damn good. And all 3 seasons are pretty damn good. And season 3 rocked. How can 18 episodes, when you already have 3 seasons, turn out to be a CF, a cluster, How does that occur?
I think there's a couple things. Number one, I think people, look, writing something that is good is a monumental task.
Yes.
I mean, it is a monumental task. A lot of people act like writing something that's globally great is easy, which obviously it's not. But I can't help but wonder, Rob, look, for the first time in Kevin Feige's career, he has experienced the last couple of years some adversity, right? Because for a decade or more, and we love Kevin Feige around here.
I'm a huge, our Lord and Savior.
I love Kevin. But for over a decade, every day that Kevin Feige woke up and opened his phone or looked on his laptop or turned on the TV, everybody's talking about their Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige, that Kevin Feige can do no wrong.
We were on Heroes in 2015.
Yeah, I mean, I love, no other producer is ever going to produce the number of billion-dollar films that he has, ever. It's never going to happen.
He has his own hot toy, John.
He has his own hot toy.
There's one Kevin Feige hot toy in the world, and he has it.
But I wonder if it wasn't for the fact that the last 2 years, he's having to now open up his phone and open up his laptop and turn on his TV and hearing his work as the head of the studio being criticized, being disliked. And I wonder if this Daredevil series that they've already started working on was, say, happening 3 years ago. If Kevin Feige wouldn't have just looked at it and go, okay, this isn't our best work, but just keep going. I wonder if the car wrecks of She-Hulk and the mediocrity of a lot of the other Disney stuff, Marvel stuff that has come out lately, I wonder if the hits that Kevin Feige has taken the last couple of years, which he has never had to take in his career before, I wonder if that has helped bring him to the point that he's looking at this and saying, you know what, guys, now that Big Papa Iger is back and he's giving me my authority back that Bob Chapek took away from me, I'm calling it. This is not good enough. We've got to get the reputation of the quality of Marvel back on track. And you know what? It reminds me a little bit of the Batgirl situation, Rob, where it's like, hey, we're only going to make our whole product look worse if we put this out. This thing is not good enough. We need to pull the plug on it. And I wonder if some of the struggles of the MCU recently have helped Kevin Feige make that decision.
I would like to hope and think that you're absolutely correct in that assessment because, the all of these things are corporately held, and corporations and the executives of corporations, they don't know how to tell stories, nor should they. And yet they're put in positions, like you said, executives are overseeing this, and they really don't know. It's not their job to make stories. They're Ivy League educated business people. They have not studied filmmaking. They don't know how to write, and they shouldn't be making those kinds of decisions. And they're trying to hire new young talent that, again, they got rid of the entire writing staff and the directors.
Yep.
And the thing is, so for what people don't understand, on TV, TV is a writer's medium.
Yeah, movies are a director's medium.
Film is they're a director's
TV is
medium.
a writer's medium.
Directors are not allowed to be auteurs on TV. It's really up to the writing staff. But so that means that directors usually aren't necessarily to blame, but for them to get rid of the directors, that says something. So it's a combination, and I understand they're trying to hire new, younger people, people that might not have had the opportunities that they could have had before, and it's not working. It's not working across the board, and they end up losing a lot of money. Television is a medium that requires great writers, great directors, and crews that really know their stuff.
And
it's not a training ground.
Showrunner at the helm. It needs a visionary showrunner at the helm to oversee and lead the creative direction of the shows. And that's just something Disney hasn't had.
And these are the most expensive, collectively, television shows ever made. I mean, in terms of a group of shows.
In terms of a group of shows.
Yeah,
yes.
they're spending so much money on these Disney Plus shows, so they have every resource in the world, which even more so why you need very experienced people to know how to employ these resources.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.